Fishers
It says we're live.
Fishers brought a whole herd of dairy cows with them.
I do believe that live is a state of mind. I don't know if we're all there. So.
Still says waiting on you.
But they've got
and we're joined by Jonna today, who is.
I'm not sure.
Well, we're according to this, we're live, and there's 7 people watching it now. 8.
Can y'all, if y'all can hear us, say so.
Type say so.
Anyway, so
we have a literal audience.
No kidding. The Ventorst and Fisher are big, or Munster are big on dairy cattle.
Okay.
So Fishers has this dairy herd, and they have this wonderful.
Yep, they can hear us.
Okay.
Okay, it's just me. It was just.
We're talking about Oktoberfest in the town where it's held. So.
And so they have this wonderful cheese and milk, and when Bessie starts slacking off at her job, well, they have a meat market.
Yeah.
Well, okay then.
And it's a German-style butchery.
Literally farm to table.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind.
Yeah. And it's really good.
Got the burger joint up in Wheens.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
No, not
The
really.
only thing that I haven't,
Mears.
The only thing I haven't seen up there is Jagerwurst.
Did I have any yours?
It is?
Yeah.
I missed
It's
it.
a seasonal thing.
Okay, guys, I have a question.
What's that?
On my adventure to furnish various parts of my house and office, yesterday I ventured out and crossed Bacon Switch Road.
Yeah, there's a nice.
That intersects with Rifle Range Road.
Yeah. It's named because there used to be a rifle range there, but no longer.
I know, and we already did that story yesterday. But what's with Bacon Switch?
I used to know.
I mean, there's got to be a story here.
There
like
is,
somebody was switching the bacon and someone got pissed off. And I bet there was probably some kind of gunfight sometime. Yeah. But I mean, what the hell is with that name?
There's a really nice indoor range up there. It's about the only nice indoor range in the area.
That's about as bad as Wagon Cellar Road.
Yeah, I saw that too. What's the Wagon Cellar Road?
Well, there used to be a wagon cellar on that road.
Stop.
No, seriously.
Yes. Okay.
There used to be a guy that he got to Texas, and apparently the wife said, "All right, we're done. I'm not going any further."
Yeah.
And so he said, "Okay." And a whole bunch of other folks came through and said, "We're not going any further either." Said, "Oh, buy your wagon cheap."
Yeah.
And he was buying and selling wagons.
Oh, well, there you go.
A lot of times
we're fairly literal around here.
I was going to say, I've noticed this.
A lot of times it had to do with where the water was bubbling to the surface.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's like the difference in pronunciation of Montag.
Montag and Montague.
And Montague. We were coming up. Peter says, "Oh, we're in Montague." I said, "No, we're in Montag." He looked at me going, "What?"
Huh?
That's Montag. No, it's Montague.
It's like,
Peter, it is not the English pronunciation. It is Montag.
That's like everybody Bowie Road in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
If you live in the DFW area, it's Bowie.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you're heading to live anywhere else, it's Bowie.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Miami, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miami and Miami.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go to
it's
Hawaii.
like it's the Willamette Valley. No, it's the Willamette Valley.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Go to Hawaii. You won't screw up pronunciation.
One of the original settlers in Texas was named Bacon.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they named a road Bacon Road.
Uh-huh.
Well, so when the railroad came through, they put a switch there.
Called Bacon Switch.
So it became Bacon Switch.
Oh, see,
Bacon
it
Switch
would
Road.
have been so much better if it was a story about pigs. And pigs being switched or something. You switched my bacon.
Switching the maple flavored bacon for the pepper bacon.
Okay,
right?
So once there was this pig who had a spider for a friend.
Oh, God. No.
You wanted a
I
story.
remind you, I'm sitting here with a very large needle.
You wanted a story about pigs.
An original story about pigs.
Oh.
So that doesn't emanate from Antifa. So
Yeah. I want to thank all the readers that bought copies of my new novella. Made it up to number 11 in 2-hour reads, but I don't think I'll go much higher because Dean Koontz has got like the first 5 spots in that.
Yeah. Although the first Blood Elf files got out, I never thought I'd beat Al Roker and
you did.
Milo Yiannopoulos in humor, and I smoked them for about 48 hours. It was great.
There you
go. It was great. Number 1 in all of the general humor category at Amazon.
And then he never wrote another thing again.
Bye. You haven't followed the anthologies, have you?
You haven't wrote anything under your
The koala goes, bacon was switched with turkey bacon and the rifle range went to war.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, I don't know if I've made this. Cedar and I are collaborating on a coloring book. The Task Force Chewini versus the Poultry Liberation Front.
I love that.
With commentary by me and art by Cedar. And Cedar, I need to ask you about doing a limited run of books that I get the puppies to sign, and we sell signed Chewy and Mochi signed books. I can't get the chickens to sign it because, well,
We can get a chicken leg.
there were casualties.
We can get a chicken leg. You can use it with the foot.
We can just like include a feather.
Yeah.
I may have
Yes,
to
Keep a
Sarah.
feather, keep the feathers, and just include a feather in like a little plastic thing.
a feather as a
A
bookmark.
memorial
A
feather
bookmark.
Blood
bookmark.
spatter across the cover.
Blood spatter.
Yeah.
Yes, turkey bacon sucks. However, beef bacon is worse.
Oh yeah, beef bacon. Ugh, nasty.
Yeah.
There's not enough fat.
Although sheep bacon's not bad. In Morocco, they make a sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Morocco, they make a sheep
I
bacon
wouldn't think
because.
there's enough fat in sheep bacon either.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
Because
no,
sheep
bacon.
Sheep
There's
doesn't have a
fat.
lot of fat to begin with.
No.
The ones they do in Morocco, they
They do.
made in
They
Morocco
do.
they are fatty.
Mhm.
They must store the fat differently than
They
pigs
do.
do.
I don't know.
If you've ever made a lamb stew,
Sarah wants to know when it's
Yeah.
going to be out because it's going to be stocking stuffers.
oh yeah,
The
it should-
coloring book.
yeah.
Ask Cedar.
it's her job.
I've got enough on my plate. All I'm doing is adding some commentary.
It's October now, and she wants
It's
stockings.
not October. It's September. Don't make me panic.
Don't make me older than I am yet.
Two,
So,
Okay, there's 2 days before it's October, and if she wants a stocking stuffer, you're gonna have that out in November.
Off to Cedar.
And John says, sheep don't have fat. What reality is JimJim from?
I didn't say they didn't have fat. I said they're not as fatty as.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, the
They're really
ones I
fatty.
saw in Morocco had this big lump of fat over each hip.
Yeah.
It
They
was
must,
just
they
big.
must store fat differently.
I
that's why they're
Okay.
so attractive to the goat herders. Anyway,
That's one of
Wow.
the reasons that
there's
That's
love
how-
handles, Velcro gloves. Guys, you can get a really good grip.
one of the
So,
reasons that cows are so great for steaks is because they store
And
the fat
Cedar
throughout.
says it will be out by the end of October. Oh, by the way, I need puppy bios from Ian.
Yes, I'm working on those. I'm
We need
also working
we need to
on more reports to pad out the.
We should make up puppy bios. Like
I am making a puppy bios.
Chewy could be an ex
And
foreign
Koala
legion
says
member.
both kids looked up at the words coloring book and looked at mama.
Not sure how kid.
Chewy
Cedar,
could-
I'm gonna go back and edit some of the stuff we already have so that it'd be a little more kid friendly.
Cedar just said coloring book is not for kids since
Working
I'm
on it.
not editing Ian's vocabulary.
I will work on that.
Chewy could have been an ex-member of the French Foreign Legion.
The end of his bio currently reads, and he is the most interesting Chewini in the world.
You'll need to obviously include the nasal raping.
and we're off as usual.
Oh, we're
Hey.
off.
And Richard says the
Oh.
old man went from New Guinea to Illinois and Shimmy after 3 years, never ate mutton again.
Nope. I'll do
Yeah,
lamb.
mutton's not so great.
Yeah.
Lamb, okay.
Rita can do a lamb. I swore when I got here I'd never eat lamb again.
And the vote is make it not kid friendly. It's not for the kids.
I didn't realize it was a vote.
Yeah. Well, you're getting voting in here
Oh,
whether you
God.
want it or not.
Oh God.
And
Oh, boy.
the four comments I've gotten so far, 3 of the 4 comments said, great story, too short. Again,
It's a short story.
it's a novella.
Was this the
Is this the same guy that got bitchy because vignettes was an interconnected
No.
series of short stories? Okay.
No,
I can't remember the first one, a pony and a rifle, and I can't remember the first one.
A house?
a rifle, a pistol, and a good horse.
Good
Rifle,
horse.
pistol, good horse. Yeah,
Because that was a requirement.
yeah. The only problem I had with it was you left a couple of plot threads hanging.
I did.
You clean those up?
Yeah.
Okay. If you had fleshed out the plot threads you didn't use, you would have had a full book.
You didn't want to write a full book.
No,
This guy sticks 7 books in a trilogy.
6.
This
Okay.
is called backlist and permanent income.
Yeah, right. Well, this guy.
Backlist is how you make your money.
Damn,
You
that's
see
how you
that-
do it.
You
I've
see
had
him
that
run
beat.
write a full book, and I'll tell you, he put 6 books in a trilogy.
We used to call that the Curtis trilogy.
Yeah.
5 books deep into your stick in your trilogy.
And Don says, haven't you learned yet not to bring up stuff on the stream that you don't want votes or commentary on?
Eh,
Yeah.
I do need to pad out the commentary a bit. So I'm working on that on top of everything else.
See, like, if we could on the stream, we could say, who wants to see Ian eat a whole jar of pickled eggs on a video, and have people vote on
And I don't care. I'm not doing it.
it.
I am not doing it.
And the voting as far as sheep and lamb is no.
Oh, Rita does incredible lamb. I mean, it's really good.
We had a sign on I-5 traveling south in Oregon that said 1-800 a lamb for you, EWE. And I thought it was
Wow.
chicken. Yeah, I was like, really?
Is that like the guy that created the fake website, Adult Sheep Finder? Remember, there was a website used to be Adult Friend Finder, and it was for people who wanted to hook up years and years ago. Well,
No, I don't.
somebody created. They took the exact layout and font and how it looked, the whole thing, and they changed it to Adult Sheep Finder.
Oh, so this is where you got your llama?
No, this is
I'm willing to
real.
bet that nine
No, this is real.
out of pings were out of the Middle East.
No, this is real. And so the guy does this whole Adult Sheep Finder thing, and
It's
the
interesting
hits-
that you know this, Jim.
if you're on the internet, everybody knows this, and it got him. It got more famous.
You tell yourself what you need to, dear.
And John
They got
gave
more-
him the hairy eyeball.
It got more famous than Adult Friend Finder. It got more pings.
Yeah, right out of the Middle East.
No, everybody hit it.
Oh, ew.
Cedar says, I was once an apprentice shepherdess from age 16 to 18.
Mm.
Apprentice? The
Yes.
Yeah,
They have-
apprentice?
Yeah, they
And
have.
as John says, only JimJim knows that.
That's because
Yeah,
This
there's
is called voting. Nobody knew that but you.
no,
Yeah.
this is the internet has no memory part of the internet.
Yeah, no kidding.
I wonder if it's still there.
It's that
Yes,
kind of
and
day.
we're having all kinds of fun today.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. And John is sitting over here sewing
Quietly sewing.
Quietly?
quietly. Yeah.
I'm actually more quiet today than I
Yeah.
have been.
Well, you're paying attention.
Well, I'm always paying attention. That's what people don't realize.
Yeah.
Those are some big ass pins.
They're quilting pins, guys. It's not that big. I have bigger ones. So
Yeah.
I use those because they're long.
Those
Size queen. And
look strangely like the ones they used to drive up under people's fingernails in Vietnam.
shh, quiet. Don't reveal my sources. So
Oh, that's why that some of them are kind of brown on the ends.
yeah, well, people annoy me. I stab them.
Yeah.
I don't see an issue here.
Yes, right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the ocean shipping issue is getting worse and
Oh, it's
worse.
insane. Yeah.
Now it's not just Long Beach. It's
Where's
also
Houston?
Houston's still running fine.
Is it?
But now it's also up off of Seattle, Vancouver, that whole area.
I thought New York was having issues too.
It's nationwide. Every port has people sitting and waiting.
Apparently Houston's
Houston does not.
Houston doesn't.
But they also have stevedores down there that are going, screw it, we'll work.
And the
Mhm.
fact that Texas is a right to work state,
Yeah.
and unions on
It's amazing. What a difference that
I think
makes.
the Longshoreman Union isn't active in Houston.
It tries.
Well,
but-
they screwed the port of Portland, and the port ended up shutting down. Companies pulled out because they couldn't put up with the damn union.
What's funny
So-
was yesterday I was reading an article about why our supply chains are still screwed up, and not once did they mention China.
Well, China is a big part of the reason.
Right.
And the
But-
second
What I'm
issue
saying is that they didn't mention China.
Let him finish what he was saying. So
the second issue is the lack of containers, because they're all sitting in the States and they're actually paying ships to deadhead
Oh, that's expensive.
whoa,
from the US to China
With empty
with
containers.
empty containers.
That gets
Damn.
expensive.
Yeah.
That gets really expensive.
And the ships that are sitting off, I think as of this morning, was up to 67 sitting outside of Long Beach.
wow.
Right. And again, my point was the article, the author was afraid
He
to
was
say
very
anything
careful,
against China.
very careful not to
Because
mention
that's
China.
it. It was a political statement.
Oh,
the
yeah.
article,
Well,
not an actual
Yeah.
analysis. So they're like,
China's only part of the problem. The big problem is the stevedores on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
not unloading.
They don't want to work. And the union is backing them, and California's COVID shutdown.
Is a good excuse.
And the truck drivers are not going to California to pick up loads because they don't want to put up with the BS and the fuel prices.
Yeah.
Diesel is up over $4 a gallon in California right now.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It was at, I remember at the end of Obama, it was at 6 something, wasn't it?
I don't remember. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Well,
But,
in
Yeah, Cedar-
San Francisco, the last time I was in San Francisco, the city, gas was like $4.69 a gallon, just gas.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just ridiculous.
When I was
And-
working the fuel desk, a lot of truck drivers that came through, and I don't, this is back a bit, so I don't know if it's still this way. A lot of truck drivers, they got a set amount of money with the load.
Yeah.
And minus fuel and whatever they had to do with the truck, that was what they got paid. So if
If you ever watch the lumber industry, because they have this, their trucks have this set route from where they're chopping the trees to where they load them up and go.
Mhm.
And you'll see these guys pitch 1/10 of a mile.
Yeah.
really,
Because the 1/10 of a mile equates to that many pints of gas, a diesel,
wow,
over the course of a day.
adds up.
And
It does.
And their margins are so thin.
Yeah, they are from the land of grown up in the lumber industry.
Well, and Cedar brings up a good point, which I had missed. I had not gotten that part checked. But apparently the container transport's now $20,000.
Yeah.
Per container,
Per
per
container.
TEU, which is up from less than 100.
So if you need to stock up on stuff, do
Yeah.
it now.
Yeah.
And buy your Christmas presents now,
Yeah.
and they might be here by Christmas.
It makes sense to me because you stop offloading container ships in one port, and they run out of dock space, and then they run out of safe anchorage.
Mhm.
Now these guys have to go. They spill over to the other ports, and they quickly fill up, and they quickly run out of anchor space. And now you've got, and that's the thing. You can't just park a container ship out any willy nilly.
You either have to do
Well, you
racetracks
can.
or you have to do racetracks or
But they'll set up a racetrack out there. They've actually got those plotted.
And
on.
they'll keep steaming.
and burning fuel.
They have to.
That
And
gets
keep burning,
expensive.
keep burning fuel, which
Because they can't go DIW. And it literally becomes cheaper to go down, come through the Panama Canal, come all the way around up into the Gulf to unload in Houston.
You
So
know
that means
why?
Texas is going to have lots of supply.
Yeah.
So
You know why it's cheaper? Because China gets the Panama Canal.
China owns the Panama Canal.
Canal. Yeah,
Oh.
they can get the revenue from it. So
I
that's good for them.
never thought I'd say this, but I'm kind of happy that feral hogs are taking over Texas.
Because at least we can get hog.
Yeah, they're free.
Yeah.
And I can do a lot of stuff with hog loin and hog backstrap.
Yeah.
well, considering how many hog farms China's been buying up.
We need to
Well, they own
Pork
everything
farms.
in the U.S. They own all the major hog farms in the U.S. now.
Yeah, now they do.
get your rifles zeroed, and we need to go out and fill up our freezers.
Yeah, no
Hunting
kidding.
trip.
Yeah,
Cedar
no kidding.
says our raw
See what
materials
beef is
work
doing.
is becoming difficult.
Beef
I'm
is
spending
stupid.
hours a week
Yeah.
talking to suppliers and distributors, just trying to keep the pipeline flowing.
The
Yeah.
weird thing is, chicken is doing the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how long does it take to go from chick to store on chicken?
Well, I can tell you the Poultry Liberation Front went from little chickens to a pain in my butt in less than a year.
Well, yeah, no, it's weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turnaround time for chicken is generally weeks.
Yeah.
Well, it's pullets.
And
Yeah.
but chicken prices are still going stupid.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
everything's
beef,
going
yeah,
stupid.
beef is
We
there.
are going back into the Carter recession.
Yeah, no kidding.
God,
I remember that last time. It
bad
wasn't
enough the
fun
first
last
time.
Yeah.
This is
What I'm just hoping and praying is we don't see the 10+% interest like we saw last time around.
Yeah.
Because when I bought my first house, I thought I got a good deal at 14.5% interest.
Yeah. I remember you could rent a house that was for sale because it took 2 years to sell it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Folks,
From
you might
chick to meat bird, 12 to 16 weeks.
Yeah.
want to start learning how to hunt.
Yeah.
You
We
know,
need to get out there and
Yeah.
get some
hunting
hogs.
trip, time to go.
Of course, that assumes we can find 30-30.
Oh, that's
We've
right.
got a little bit.
I've got a stacks of 30-30. We're good.
Why would you want 30-30? 308.
Well, get my rifles there. Either one.
7.62 by 54. Come on, or yeah, any round that you've got.
Yeah, but
Steph says her student loans were 12%. Yeah.
Ow.
I'm looking at any hog that I thump over 200 pounds. I'm cutting out the back straps and the tenderloin and leave the rest of it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm-
You
I'm
really
heading-
want to get under 150 pounds to get anything good.
If it's
I wonder
150,
I wonder if we should wait till after the first hard freeze.
We need to call.
that's for rabbits. I don't know about
Yeah.
hogs.
I don't know. That's
we
what I
need
was
to
thinking.
call Ashley.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Well, Whitaker's pinged me, and they're open for anybody bringing in hogs. They'll
Ooh, all right.
dress out your hog and FDA inspect it or Department of Ag inspect it and everything. Whitaker's over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
They just open up for deer and hog.
Nice. I'm going home to pick up half a cow. So
John says, I grew up on a chicken farm. Really don't want to do that again.
yeah, chickens are stupid
And stinky.
and stinky.
Yeah.
And not smart enough to stay away from my Chihuahuas.
They remind me of COVID Karens.
Yeah.
On the plus side, if you're a mad scientist, they're only a couple of genes away from dinosaurs.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Turn those back on, buddy.
Yeah. Wasn't somebody trying to do that?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
did that.
Brian, we can't hog hunt down here with thermal and our
Yeah.
night vision in Texas. That
We
is
do.
correct.
You can hunt from a helicopter on hogs in Texas.
Yeah,
Ooh, that sounds fun.
as long as you have all of the requisite permits, because Parks and Wildlife got happy about hog hunting
Yeah.
from
Yeah, I don't.
choppers.
Of course, the other problem in shooting them out of the helicopters, then you got to land and go get the son of a bitch.
Nobody does.
If you're going to eat it for meat,
Yeah.
you're damn well going to
And
do it.
I've seen the helicopters they shoot out of.
Yeah,
They're not.
little,
They're not flying them back.
no, little bitty bubblegum thing.
Yeah, they're
They're Robinsons a lot of
Yeah,
places.
they're mostly Robinsons.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
Little
get a damn
tiny things.
Robinson on a bed anyway.
It's like, wow.
but yeah, plus I've seen the guys that are shooting from the helicopters, and it's not hunting; it's spraying and praying.
Yeah,
So
well-
you end up with a lot of hurt animals, which,
Yeah.
as a
I'm
hunter,
not-
I do not agree
Yeah,
with.
not a,
Well,
not a big
and they're-
fan of.
A lot of them are gut shot at that point, so the meat's ruined anyway.
Yeah, it's just so you've got this suffering animal, for
That's not
so
okay.
you get the thrill of flying and doing a gun run, big whoop.
I still remember one video about a year ago now. Was taking over Germany up in the Alps. The guy with an old fashioned drilling.
Oh, nice.
No.
6 hogs crossed in front of him in about 10 seconds, and he killed 6 hogs.
Mhm.
Damn.
That boy was good.
I was watching one German Austrian hunter with a bolt action rifle, and he was squeezing the trigger with his middle finger and working the bolt with his thumb and index
Yeah,
finger.
The Mad Minute, yeah.
And he just hogs piling up left, right, and center.
Yeah.
That boy's done that a time or two.
Yeah. Well,
What's the record?
that was the one that linked to the one of the guy with the
Did it?
drilling.
What's
Who was having to break it and reload it every time.
Yeah.
I'm going, damn.
You can get 6 quick shots out of a double or drilling.
the I think the record for the Mad Minute on a SMLE is 36 aimed shots in a minute.
Well, it's
Jesse
built for
goes, now I have an image of a hog launcher on some kind of small dragonfly like chopper.
that. Yeah, if you have a double or drilling, if you put the 2 rounds between your index and social digit and your
Yeah.
social ring finger on both hands, you can pop it and load it, pop it and load
Yeah.
it. You get 6 quick shots.
Yeah, but you gotta train on that because
Oh, you
your
gotta practice
Your
hard.
grip
grip
that's
is your
what
grip is
he
so
did.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to practice hard.
That's what
This was not a young guy that did this.
Well, that was the old training manual for the old Martini Henrys. Recommended that you keep
Oh, really?
rounds here and rounds here
Really?
while you shot, but you have to train them because your grip changes
Yeah.
every time you shoot.
And Koala says, ick, plucking. Yes, plucking chicken sucks.
Although I've heard,
Dude, just take an old washing machine and turn it into a chicken plucker. I've got friends who've done that.
yeah, I've seen
when I-
videos
They
of that.
work.
Yeah,
They
I've
work
seen
really
videos.
well.
Whoa.
Excuse me, when I was a friggin' kid, I had to go chase the son of a bitch down, wring its neck, put it in a pot of boiling water after he got through running around with his head cut off, literally, or
Mhm.
wrung off, and then sit there and pluck that son of a
This
There's-
is called keeping Jim busy as a child.
Yes,
bitch.
there were faster
There
ways
were
to do
faster
it.
ways to do it, but your mother knew better.
My
So,
mother and my grandmother, that was the only way they knew how to do it.
Yeah,
Well-
they
And
always
they
do.
were not going to take the skin off.
It was if it was
No,
good enough for
skin's
your
too young.
grandpa as a kid, it was good enough for your pa as a kid.
Yeah.
Damn well, it's good enough for you.
No, embrace modern technology.
Yeah.
And find an old washer in somebody's yard and turn it into a
Is this-
chicken
Oh.
plunger.
That's where the
Yeah.
phrase mechanically separated comes from.
Oh no,
No.
that involves a screen and high pressure.
Yeah.
Oh.
Scream.
I'm sorry, my brain just went some interesting places with that. Mechanically separating liberals.
Yeah, no.
I was thinking about divorces. They were
Mechanically
mechanically
separated.
separated.
Mechanically separating liberals, you wind up with a whole bunch of extra soybean in your diet.
Ew.
And Richard said they are now requiring a radiation check on the EU bores.
I can believe it.
well, okay.
Because they're coming out of Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming out of Ukraine.
Well,
Well, they're
Sarah,
spreading.
Sarah says,
There's no hunt,
You
nobody's
mean-
hunting those.
No, I wouldn't.
So they're breeding like
and
fully
Sarah,
radiated rabbits.
and Sarah says, you mean you don't want to eat a three-eyed boar? That's like the three-toed fishes down in Savannah River.
I don't want to shoot a three-eyed boar. He might get mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, that's done.
The Incredible Hulk boar. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Don't shoot the green ones.
You know,
yeah.
You'll only make them mad.
Anything over 200 pounds really isn't good eating anyway. So if you see the Incredible Hulk board,
Got
Just-
I've shot a boar and all I did was piss him
Yeah,
off.
just looked at you. Went really.
Yeah, me
So
too.
is-
And then he charged.
They
Me
charge.
so is Ian.
I did it with a 9mm pistol.
I did it with a 30-30.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. We're good. It's okay.
Get that son of a bitch right between the running lights.
Oh man.
Ian treed that boar.
He
Oh
went
wait,
down.
Ian got treed by that
And
boar.
it
Yes,
got
I
up.
did.
Then got back up. He
It
did a
was like,
Godzilla. He was
uh-oh.
like, now I'm
no,
just pissed off.
it was a real boar.
And then
If
did
you
you have
look
a
at
trooper come in?
Yeah, the way their head is. Oh man.
if you look at the shape of the head,
Yep.
a real boar has an angle on it about like that,
Yep.
about 45 degrees, whereas a pig
Mm-hmm.
has a rounded frontal plate.
Yep.
And this was a real boar because after my cousin finally killed it with a 22, we went down there and skinned it out, skinned the head out. Sure enough, there was a swatch of
Skid mark.
lead
Yeah.
where it skidded.
And it hurt.
Yeah, I go on a prowler call. Lady called in a prowler. She always did. She'd call in a prowler at least twice a week. They're fat and dumb and happy. And I just got back from a relatively famous gun school. Walked around the corner of the house and there was a hog. And I did a speed rock. And I was, see this patch of bristle fly up and thinking, damn, it actually works. And the hog went, oh, you motherfucker. And it went south from there.
And then it was on.
And then it was on. The game warden, Gary Hunt, which I always got a giggle out of me. Yeah, game warden and Gary Hunt. Whacked that boar about a year later with a 450 Marlin. And I knew it was that boar because we staggered in to get a cup of coffee that he really, really, really wanted his bourbon in. He showed me a perfectly expanded 127 grain Winchester Black Talon plus P plus, just like I carried.
And a 45 for the state trooper who went up the other.
He went on top. He went, on top of the house. I went on top of the
I'm sure there
mesquite bush.
I'm sure there are wild boars out there that have like 8, 12 arrow points stuck
Oh,
in them and
It-
9 or 15
actually,
bullets.
if you get a big hog and you're if you have a big one and you're just really interested, mildly curious, skin that puppy and see what you got.
Yeah.
I haven't skinned one yet that didn't have other rounds in it.
Yeah, rounds or arrowheads.
Yeah, it must be a club with them.
Yeah,
I picked up a new arrowhead. That puts him on the leaderboard.
yeah.
22 250. I got 257.
Who's shooting 22
The funniest thing I've ever seen was a deer over in Arkansas come through the bush over there with a rifle in his rack.
Oh well.
Goodness, there's a story
There's
for
a
the club.
That's I told you how we used to hunt up north with a 10-gallon cooler of beer and absolutely no care for what was walking around.
Well, in Arkansas, most of the places we hunted, you couldn't see more than about 50 or 60 yards.
Right. Brush.
So it was shotgun. And we were sitting on this little pond, and there were plenty of deer tracks, and there was a nice buck gate about 50 yards from us down the power line. So we're sitting there, bored to tears. And it's about 9:30 in the morning. And damned if this Buck doesn't walk out the buck gate and start walking down toward the water
No.
with a rifle, with a scope, sitting in his rack. And he's kind of shaking his head occasionally.
Well, yeah, it's got something stuck in his hair. It's just like, what's going on here?
And it was like, did
It's
I'm
work.
not hallucinating. That
I'm
one,
going to bet the deer was trying to figure out how to reload it.
yeah. So
I'd be going, I'm fixing to get a free rifle.
If I,
Yeah,
if I shake
we
it this
blew it.
way, I can get the bolt.
yeah, we got him, dropped him. Went up. Sure enough, he's dead. And we find another bullet hole in his shoulder.
Oh,
Yeah, damn, pretty nice rifle. He's old Savage. And about 15 minutes later, this guy comes out of the brush. You guys happen to think, yeah, that's my gun.
Not anymore, it's not.
Hell,
He wasn't going to claim the deer.
It's like, just give up on the deer because the deer won that discussion. So.
and we're looking at him going, yeah, you can have it back. We're keeping the deer. What the fuck did you do? Well, I shot some bitch and it went down. I thought it was dead. My buddy was going to take a picture with me with the rifle in the rack. And
Oh.
I kneeled down next to the son of a bitch, put my hand on his back. He got up and run.
This is why everybody pokes the eye.
What's the first rule of zombies?
Yeah.
Double tap.
Yeah.
Hear the
Same
insurance.
thing with deer. Double tap. Yeah, make sure they're done.
No, if you hit them right, they're gonna go down.
Yeah, they'll go down, but just make sure.
That was one
Dodge
thing.
318, they're guaranteed. to
Yeah,
stay
they'll
down.
Yes.
Oh, hi, Obi.
Yeah, after running for a bit, because
Yeah.
I had
You're such a sweet dog.
me and Matt Guest had to drag that 300-pound bastard all the way back from where it was.
Everybody.
Because I was smart enough not to get involved in that.
And he was holding all the rifles.
I watched it, and everybody, there were 20 some odd of us in that group. Everybody poked that deer in the eye.
Except Ray Carter.
Yeah, Ray didn't. I
Because
didn't.
Ray finally got to the point. Every one of you guys is coming up and poking him out. He said, is that a thing? Yes, Ray, that's a thing.
I just watched everybody do it and look at the eye.
I ran up with whatever rifle I brought that year. I think it's 7 mag.
Yeah.
And I mean, I hammered it. I saw it with the muzzle because I tried to pull it. You know, if he twitched, I was.
Yeah.
And then everybody else comes up there and it's either with a rifle muzzle or a finger. And it's raised like.
I think Matt hit it with a pistol.
I did
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah, I was just like, dude, once was enough.
with my finger on the trigger.
Well,
just in
just-
case.
When I got up there, I'd never hunted with anybody else. This is the second time for me meeting a lot of those guys. I had no idea if they knew what the hell to do. I didn't see them do it because they did it before I got there. It's like I'm looking at Lurch here, and I don't know. So it's like
Lurch?
I honestly believe
Matt
that.
Guess is a very large.
Oh, he's a big
gentleman.
guy. Okay,
He's a
yeah.
big guy. He's a hill giant. He's not a
Yeah.
I firmly believe that deer eyes are like elevator buttons.
Ding.
Everybody, doesn't matter if it's lit or not, everybody's going to hit it.
Gotta push the button.
You gotta push the button.
It's like obsession. You have to do it.
Anybody who's been on the wrong end of a mad deer or
Yeah.
angry buck is gonna make sure he's dead.
That was my first thought when you said he had a rifle in his rack. Was the guy shot him? The deer went, "Oh no, you didn't!" Walked up, looked at him really mean, and then took the rifle away. And stomped off in a huff.
Angry young elk. You make sure.
Yeah. Sarah
So
Singleton says, Mom always thought critters should get the weapons too, just to make things fair.
Oh yeah.
Oh
they
no,
have them.
no, it's fair. Trust me.
It's completely fair.
Yes.
2 years, 3 years, I've come up dry on deer hunts.
Yeah.
Anybody that says, "Oh, it's not fair the way you're hunting,"
Yeah.
if it wasn't fair, I'd be a lot more successful.
It would,
Well,
they wouldn't call it hunting
and
if you came over the deer every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's Rupert.
Yeah, Rupert dies this year.
Oh, is this a particular deer?
Yes.
They have a
Okay.
place. They have a place to go hunting every.
Okay, so Rupert
January?
knows he's seen you guys.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Well,
no,
the
he's
first
seen
year-
other hunters.
He's
Yeah.
other hunters.
So you've got Rupert, and the first time we saw him, he was a 4-point buck, which
Yeah.
is a decent for
That's
Texas.
good.
Decent.
That's
And
good.
didn't the guy who owns the place say you let him go for a year?
No.
At
No.
that point.
No,
No,
He was
no.
still a yearling.
No,
Okay.
no, he wasn't a yearling the first time we saw him.
Yeah, well, the first time we saw him, he was a yearling.
Okay. Well, the second time, he's got a good rack. It's like, "Ha, damn, I'm going home with some venison today." And then all these yearlings and fawns start bouncing around him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He was doing deer daycare.
Yes.
Rupert has learned that if he surrounds himself with kids, He's safe.
Yes.
And his harem loves him
and
because they get to go do what they want, and all the kids just stay with
he's
him.
also, I swear to God, he's a pedophile, and I'm going to do the world a favor by thumping his little horned ass.
This is Ian justifying the murder.
Not to justify it. He
Sarah,
goes down.
Trust me, they have weapons themselves.
But every
The
time,
horns,
The
the
hooves.
hooves.
oh, the hooves are worse than
I
horns.
guarantee you, if you went mano a mano with anything other than maybe a squirrel, you would come out on the wrong end of that
You would
stick.
wind up bleeding.
Yeah,
And squirrels are questionable.
yeah.
No, yeah, it's
So the squirrels on the University of Oregon campus have the students trained.
Yeah.
They train them early because there's a quadrangle, and one of the main things is from the student union off to one of the main buildings with a lot of the classrooms. So kids will go and they'll like get popcorn or
Yeah.
whatever, and they'll be walking across there, and these squirrels will spot them with a little eye, and they will run out. And they'll stop in front of the person, and the students go, "Oh, how cute! It's a squirrel!" And then the squirrel will run up and grab them around the leg and hang on. I've watched this happen over and over and over again. They're like, "Oh my God, there's a squirrel on my leg!" And we'll just hang on, no matter how much you shake it, until they drop some food. And then the squirrel grabs the food and runs
Oh,
away. They're the
Insurance.
fattest squirrels I have ever seen in my
Which-
life.
The squirrels are
brings up an
demanding
interesting-
insurance.
It's amazing. They can
We-
even latch on because
we
they look
have-
like little melon balls stuck on the side of the legs. They're so big.
We haven't
See you,
taken her to
Steph.
see the
Have a good
world's
day.
fattest prairie
Prairie
dogs.
dogs. No, we
We need
haven't.
to take her to go see the world's fattest prairie dogs.
You could do that.
It's
They're-
in
I
Wichita.
prefer Oktoberfest, but
No, it's in Wichita off
Yeah,
Southwest
it's short
Parkway, so we can take you there
Okay, it's
anytime.
nearby.
Yeah, we can take her
I'm
out.
actually getting to the point I don't have to look at street signs now. I
Have,
figured out
we've
where I
never
am.
told you about the world's fattest prairie dogs.
I'm
I
convinced-
believe maybe you did.
I'm
Yeah, we
convinced
did.
they're feeding on the,
I think you
on the
did.
graveyard
Yeah.
across the
Oh,
street.
I know they are.
They're feeding over there.
Yeah.
This is, oh yeah, you told me the story
Yeah.
about one of them popping up in grandma's wedding dress.
That's
We're
when
waiting,
they
we're
start
waiting on
dying.
that to happen.
That'll be
Yeah,
fun.
that's when they're going to start dying.
Okay.
These
So-
guys
Either
are-
that or coming out with grandma's wedding ring.
It's like, while you're down there, get Dad's Rolex.
I swear to God,
He insisted on being buried with that damn thing.
there are owls surrounding that are going like, I could grab him, but he's too fat. I'd never
He's
get off
gonna
the ground
kick my
again.
butt.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
kick my ass.
Yeah,
Yes.
there are hawks that I know have hit and probably go, what?
Yeah.
Bring it. Hawk go, whoa, buddy, whoa, my bad.
This sounds like another coloring book. But more
No,
Halloween themed.
no,
Yes,
no,
with like
no,
with
no,
like
no.
a little popping up groundhogs in strange clothing.
Okay,
So
somebody decided that prairie dogs were endangered, so they started in the middle of bloody Wichita Falls.
That's what kills me.
They got a breeding pair of prairie dogs in the middle of Kiwanis Park, JC Park, one of the
Yeah,
parks.
it's-
clearly these are people who've never been around rabbits or hamsters or anything.
Or
like
prairie
that.
dogs.
Or
Or prairie dogs.
So-
And they made
These are
this
food.
mid-thigh high fence
Oh, like
Because-
that was gonna work.
that didn't go in the ground anywhere.
Because prairie dogs aren't going to be able to crawl over something that
No.
tall. They're
Well,
short.
they can't now.
It doesn't matter.
The fence slightly leans back.
It doesn't matter that they can dig.
You know,
And
it's like,
they did.
yes, they
And
do.
everybody showed up because it was a big
Look how
attraction.
cute they
They're
are.
cute.
They were.
Let's feed them
And
things.
then French fries.
fries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's there's a Sonic like a spit away.
There's a Sonic on every corner here,
Yeah.
which I will admit is a nice thing.
Yeah.
And they're getting the giant tater tots. They're throwing their prairie dogs. Going, oh, okay,
Target
guess-
practice.
I'll
you know.
guess I'll eat another.
They're gonna sit there and go, tater tot, where's the corn dog? I've had the tots. Give me the corn dog.
So they, and every once in a while, the city will very quietly, because they're, oh my God, they're so cute. Very, very quietly at night.
Yeah.
Let's
And
reduce the
Actually, they're
herd.
vacuuming them up now.
are they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, for
they get
God's sake.
stuck in the vacuum. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a big one.
I want that vacuum.
Just-
Prairie dog with a ring around his butt for the vacuum hoses.
I want that
Jesse
vacuum.
says,
Prairie dogs with diabetes.
one house I moved into was walking down the side of the house when I spotted a tree rat with an acre. We froze, looked at each other, and I swear he shifted the grip like a linebacker going through and charged me. I'm pretty sure I could have taken him, but it wasn't worth the effort.
Yeah, no.
It would have been a Pyrrhic victory.
Yeah.
Nope. Just nope.
Tugler says, poor prairie dogs with diabetes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, God, yeah.
We
Diabetes,
should get
high
them
blood
little-
pressure.
We should get them little lawn chairs, and a little cooler with some cheap beer.
Well, vacuuming them is fun because
yeah, right.
they've got this pad in the back of the vacuum.
Look, Bobby, they brought the ride.
You know,
We get the ride shake. Don't go near the ride.
Wow.
It's just,
Has anybody told you about the ride? Don't go there.
if you reverse the vacuum and stuck it in one of the holes, and blue area, I'm sure the trees across the street would start shaking
Yeah.
from
I've
the air
seen
coming out
things,
of the hole.
man. I've seen prairie dogs sucked into tubes, never come back.
See, I want to suck them up, reverse the thing, drive through the campus.
Yeah.
Prairie dog.
The thing is,
See a professor running around with a 14-pound prairie dog stuck to his face.
That could be fun.
out of Bloggerado, if you're within 200 yards, they will dive in the hole.
Oh yeah.
These guys, you start walking over the fence, and they're like, "Should I move?"
Oh God.
I don't
Can I spare
know.
the effort?
So you're 10 feet away from the fattest prairie dog you have ever seen.
And Don does make a good point. Burrowing owls get very, quote, disgruntled, unquote, when they're vacuumed by the
I see them looking at you. Here's an expression I've seen before.
Feathers.
Which owl is it that in the daylight has the red eyes?
I don't know, but I try to stay away from anything that has red eyes in the daylight.
That is
They're either stoners or they're evil.
I have
or
seen
all of the above.
one of those again in Arkansas
Uh-huh.
out hunting, and I swear to God, this dark, almost black, and it was an owl,
Mm-mm.
beady red eyes.
I've seen this movie. It usually winds up with everybody running and screaming and blood everywhere.
The black girl gets it first, unfortunately.
No, it's usually the one with the high ponytail who's the prettiest. So,
Well, she's there for the sex scene midway through that both of them get.
well, they
chopped
both
up
die
on,
anyway,
yeah.
right? So,
Oh,
We
we're,
have seen
we're
too many
coming up,
80s slasher
oh,
movies.
we're coming up on Halloween season when we do the famous lines I like to hear in a horror movie.
Yeah. Cedar says her eldest is doing her PhD in Colorado studying squirrels, which confused her because her specialty is oncology as it pertains to virology, until she was told that squirrels are protected in Colorado, so they develop diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. Wow.
okay then.
Nationalized health care for squirrels. Nationalized health care for squirrels.
Oh,
Oh, my
I
God.
posted some years back, before we finally managed to get the eaves fixed. We had a hole in one of the eaves in my house. And we got
I
these
remember that.
we got
one.
these two ancient pecan trees in the backyard that are full of squirrels. And little bastards were running along the branches and into the eaves of my house to have babies.
This is not okay.
No. So we had, well, I've got a couple of 22 rifles, lever actions that run super cleaveries real well. And out to 20 feet, super cleavery in the think box will turn a squirrel right off.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
we were thumping squirrels left, right, and center.
And two very helpful dogs.
And three very helpful dogs. We still had Praline then. And Praline's a Jack Russell, and she figured out when it comes to hunting, she has a PhD.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Jack Russell's.
She figured out that when Daddy grabbed the magic squirrel stick, it was go time.
Game on.
And she would run because squirrels, when they see somebody with a rifle or any sort of predator, will run around the far side of the tree. They'll keep the tree between them and me. So Praline would run around and bark, so the squirrel would run away from her. Hey, squirrel, black. Well, Chewy is an extremely smart little dog, but rather more geared to birds than squirrels.
Yeah.
Because
They have
Praline,
their thing.
Praline would run on the far side of the tree, bark at squirrel. Squirrel would run around, Chewy, oh, squirrel, and bark at it, and run back around where Praline was. And Praline would get so frustrated.
Praline would actually climb the tree.
That's not surprising.
I've got pictures of the North American tree terrier,
Yeah.
Yes.
and we actually had a wood platform to keep her from going any higher.
Mm-hmm.
Because I went one time, the dog's like 20 feet up in the air, going, I wonder if I can stick the landing. Say, oh no!
The
Ooh,
funny one was the one off the power line, though.
no. And there was one. There's this tree rat. He's up there. I see him eyeing the hole in the eaves, like, oh no, you little bastard. And this is just after we got Mochi, and he's running along, and I've got it's super cleavery, so it's 20 grains, not real fast. And I wasn't sure I hit a moving squirrel, but what the hell? And he's running, and it was beautiful. I thought the squirrel just it somersaults, and I hear Colonel Cooper. Ha! There you go. And then the rest of me went, oh shit, because Mochi said, oh, squirrel.
Mhm.
Grabbed the squirrel, takes off the Morgan building. Pretty goes, oh, squirrel's on the menu. And she grabs the squirrel. And they're doing the spinny thing. And I'm going, drop the tree rat, drop the tree rat. Finally, I put the rifle down on a comfy patch of grass. I get the
You didn't put the rifle down. You dropped.
I dropped the rifle on a comfy patch of grass. I'm on one knee. I've got praline. I forget how I had mochi, but I had a freaking tree rat. And I'm by the deck around the pecan tree. And I'm trying to keep them away from and Chewie goes, ooh, dinner. And just takes the tree rat, starts running for Rita's multiple thread count Egyptian cotton. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, no, not a good plan.
Let go of them, grab Chewie, remove the squirrel, play the squirrel over a fence, look up, there's another one going, yeah. Oh, you pow. Oh shit.
Oh, here we go again.
Starts all over. It's a
All
rodeo.
over, yeah.
Well, got your cardio in for the day.
Oh, no kidding.
So, I mean,
Wrangling two 14-pound dogs off of a
Yeah.
squirrel is
Yeah.
a lot more cardio intensive than you
you
think.
should, next time you do that, let's like set up with some film. So, because it sounds pretty
I
fun.
came over about 5 minutes after this happened. And Ian's sitting there blowing. I'm going, what the hell? Fucking squirrels. Goddamn dogs. Son of bitches. So what? Are you bit? No, I'm just fucking tired.
Yeah, I was covered in squirrel blood. And Rita's like, oh my God, what happened? Fucking squirrels. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Goes,
never
goes
mind.
back to what she was doing.
Was there a problem here?
And then the other bad, I hate pecan trees. If you've got a pecan tree in your backyard, I feel for you.
A gigantic one in my backyard.
Yeah. Well, have you seen the little sucker branches that fall off of it?
Yes, they're all over the place.
And the wood is real springy, so it jams lawnmowers.
Mhm.
And then I've got
I have a 10-year-old dealing with that.
I have a Mochi, who's allegedly a Chiweenie, but was a lot more weenie than Chi. She was a foundling pup. She spent a great deal of the first part of her life tied to a fence
Mm.
and watered and fed when somebody remembered.
Yeah.
So she does not turn out.
That's
She
not
does,
good.
yeah,
I can remember going
she's-
with Rita to pick that puppy up.
That is not a good way for a dog to live.
we call her a Russian orphan pup because she does not turn down food, and
Well-
food is anything that hits the floor.
Yes.
So she eats pecans. And
That
when
she
I
can knock on the floor either.
Well,
and when I say eats pecans, she chews them up and swallows everything.
oh, that's not good
Well, it hasn't hurt her yet,
yet, but still.
but you get these really odd mochi
Piles.
turds. Yes.
How many times have you had to go to the vet to get metal
Something.
extracted
Yeah.
from that dog?
She ate a flower off of one of Rita's hats, and we didn't realize that the flower had
Yeah,
a wire core.
it's-
Well,
yeah.
she ate the entire wire core,
Yeah.
and couldn't figure out why she had a tummy ache. And the vet goes, "Oh, we're doing emergency surgery." It's like, what? And there you say, "Oh,
Yeah,
shit."
Not
Anyway,
good.
That
Oh.
dog's cost you $15,000.
she's adorable.
Or the time
so-
that she ate the entire thing of cocoa powder.
Yeah.
Oh, and I had
Oh
to
my
make her
God.
throw up.
Not
Anyway,
okay.
Yeah. But there was a standing rule back when the house was in good enough shape for people to visit. There was a standing rule. If you were in the backyard having a smoke break, Jim,
Yeah.
if you found a pecan, you threw it over the fence.
Yeah.
Yes.
All pecans got humped over the fence. Right, Skippy. And
And Franklin would chase it all the way to the fence and go 2/3 the way up the fence.
Oh, good exercise for the
What
dog.
stone is that?
But,
that's an
elk's
elk
tooth.
tooth.
Oh, okay.
we got a reputation in the neighborhood is don't walk through that yard if you didn't want to get hit with pecan.
Yeah.
Because the kids be walking through the yard because there's no sidewalks over there, and
Yeah.
they didn't want to walk on. There's no shoulder either.
I have
Yeah.
noticed a distinct lack of sidewalks anywhere in
Yeah.
this town or the one I live in.
Yeah.
So they'd be walk along, get hit with pecan.
I only did that once.
I did it multiple times.
I did it
No,
on
John
purpose.
just said he just found out China is cutting back on chip production big time.
Cutting back, I didn't think they were producing any right now.
Well, were making them. Apparently now they're cutting it back. So no computers in new cars.
Yeah,
And Wallace says, but we have to get those self-driving electric cars with a 20-mile range.
Yeah.
Yeah, dream on.
Yeah.
electric cars are not a
Oh.
bad idea if you're a city dweller that doesn't actually go
I was
anywhere.
gonna
Have
say,
you read the specs on the electric Mustang?
and
I
thread
don't care.
drift.
I don't care.
What would be, Mustang that's electric?
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
The Eastang.
it's
The
all electric.
Mustang? Are we
Um,
going back to the 70s with Mustangs? Because they sucked then too.
oh god, the
So-
Well,
Mustang
this doesn't
God,
even
yeah.
look like a Mustang.
It's like,
Yeah.
well, good, Because I mean, if I see one of those, I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna pry off the Mustang label
So,
because that is a goddamn offense to all that is good.
Yeah.
so
So-
like, it's like the old MPG things you see on the ads that say,
Yeah.
17 instead
Yeah.
of 25 on that, when it really all you got was like 4.
Yeah.
The way
They
I
say
drive.
300 mile. So the ad says 300-mile range, and then you start digging down into the
Yeah.
That requires
Fine
that
print.
you have the extended batteries in
Yeah.
it, which means you
And
have,
I'm willing to bet it requires that they're new batteries.
yeah.
Because
Well, the
Batteries always take a set.
yeah
They do.
the technology they have now for conditioning batteries is a lot better than it used to be.
yeah, but you're still going to start
They
losing
still
range.
take a set. I
You're
don't
still
care
gonna
how
start
many
losing
Yeah,
range.
well, yeah, I know. It just
Yes,
will
I
last
know.
longer now. But the
I know these don't
thing
last
is-
very long.
thing is, you put the extended range batteries in that thing, you lose any luggage space,
Yeah.
Because they
and I
fit.
think you
Yeah,
lose
and
part
they
of your back
weigh
seat.
a ridiculous amount and wear out the
Yeah.
roads faster.
And if you unfortunately get in an accident and the responding volunteer fire department, i.e. Bubba and Earl, hose it down with water,
Yeah,
it gets
you got-
really kinetic really quickly.
Yeah, if you've got cracked lithium containers,
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know that a lot of volunteer fire departments, especially used to be, weren't as well trained on the minutia of some stuff as they could be. Wet stuff on red stuff was really big
Yeah.
in volunteer
Well, I
fire
remember
departments.
when they first came out with the lithium-ion battery cars, they were doing crash tests on them because you have to for any.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they'd run the test and then they'd put it off in a yard for the engineers and scientists to get to later.
And it'd catch fire.
Yeah, and they were like, "Why are these cars catching fire a week after we crash them?"
Lithium in water. I've worked in several small agencies where when the volunteer fire department shows up to a crash, they hose it down.
Yeah, well, that's probably SOP.
Okay, you might want to think about that.
Yeah. I know the consternation of when the airbags got to be common
Oh, yeah.
because several volunteer fire department folks got hurt or killed going slap happy with their jaws of life and activating the airbag
Yeah.
right there.
Well,
Eee.
there's a lot of politics there, unfortunately, because we
This is
decided
not
in the
surprised.
States we decided the airbag was a primary restraint system, versus in Europe where it's secondary and you better have your seatbelt on.
Right.
So the airbags in Europe aren't as deadly as the airbags are here.
This is not a surprise. This is not a
Well,
surprise.
even a properly seatbelted in, airbag deployed in the U.S. will knock you unconscious.
Yeah.
Because the airbags are, whereas in the Europe
Well,
they're not
and-
quite so.
And the damage to forearms, if you're holding the steering wheel right,
Yeah.
is incredible. Not to mention if you're not holding it correctly.
Yes.
Well, the other thing it'll do, I've worked a couple of wrecks where that went off. And in one case, there was a perfect imprint of a woman's face
Yeah.
because of her makeup.
Yep.
I was gonna
And
say.
she had
Just
second-degree burns,
Yeah.
both forearms,
From just
from the
Right
airbag.
there.
Plus, she had a broken left wrist
Mhm.
from where the airbag blew her hand into the
into the support.
B pillar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always helpful.
I'm just the cars with the new side impact airbags now. Not it goes off if you hit from the
Yeah.
side, where they've got them installed.
Yeah, so that you're in a cage
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Yeah, I just imagine you get side impact, that bag goes off, and now you've got extreme concussion.
Well, I'm terrified of that airbag going off. 'Cause I wear these glasses. I don't have to pull them out of the back of my skull.
Broken nose.
On the plus side, you never have to take them off again.
Yeah.
Yes, permanent implants. Yes.
Wallace says, not one of my accidents with 18-wheelers had airbags deployed, thankfully.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to ask
I remember.
why.
I remember
What's-
in
No, wait a
'94.
minute. She was in the Air Force, so she was probably driving an 18-wheeler as an E3.
Mhm.
I remember in '94, one of the neighboring agencies, one of the deputies I knew was kiting along, probably a little faster than he should have been, in a Ford Crown Vic that had been airbag equipped and hit an armadillo.
The road hazards are so different down here.
Well,
And-
ask John Van Stry. It tore the front of his car.
Yeah.
that was
I mean-
that was a trash panda though.
Yeah, that was a trash can.
Yeah,
It was
still.
the same difference.
Just see that, don't run over it.
My
Okay.
next door neighbor over here tore the front end out from under a 392 Charger
Oh,
hitting an armadillo.
hitting an armadillo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
my neighborhood was like rocks fall off
Yeah.
the hill. Don't hit the rocks. You know, here it's the rocks crawl out of the ground
Yeah,
and
yeah.
walks across the damn
Rocks
freeway.
are mobile.
So-
But he was doing 70, 75, maybe 85 miles an hour, 40 when his airbag went off in his face. That was
Didn't he-
fun.
Didn't even know.
Yeah.
Adventure. Adventure, yes.
Oh,
And they'll go off. They go off at something ridiculous.
20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Is it 20? I thought it was like 8 or something.
used to be
might-
5.
It might be 5 or 8 now.
It's either 5 or 8.
Well, it is because
Yeah.
last week some lady blew hers at Walmart, hit it running into the blue bollard.
Yeah.
She was backing out and and went forwards to backing
Yeah.
and tapped one of those blue.
So
And
we've
Brian
gone
said
through,
one
yeah.
of his daughters broke her arm from an airbag.
I believe
Yeah.
it.
I can believe it.
Oh,
Broken noses
Wallace
are common.
said they hit me, walked away both times without injury, even though the cars were totaled. You were one lucky lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't argue with an 18-wheeler. Yeah,
Well, you can argue.
it's just you will lose.
Yeah.
Well,
You know.
ask the emus up in. You can't
Mm.
because in mating season.
No, emus and I have history.
Yeah.
Well, me too. Up in the panhandle, those friggin' emus.
Wallace says, I was banned from driving military vehicles after I scared the instructor.
Woohoo!
Oh,
God, I never thought
That
of that.
takes some
I
work.
should have done that.
The emus up in the panhandle, some back when they had emu ranches, they
Yeah,
failed and
right,
they
yeah.
turned them all loose.
Yeah.
Well, the emus, for some reason during mating season, Peterbilt sound like a mating call or a challenge.
when a Jake break it, probably.
Yeah.
And the number of times at 2 in the morning when I've gone to an accident and I've got a truck driver sitting on the running board, it's like, are you okay? Fucking chicken. They go around, there's emus stuck in the grill because they're going along with you.
Doing his best Wile E. Coyote
Yeah.
impression.
Yeah.
Don't use the air brakes in that neighborhood.
What's this I-40 in the pit
Well,
for the
you would think
panhandle?
it was, yeah. So we had a neighbor when we lived way up in the mountains who released peacocks into the wild
Oh.
in our neighborhood. I can't stand those damn things.
They scream.
I will tell you though, they are incredibly
I hate that
satisfying
scream.
to hit at about 45 miles an hour because the feathers go everywhere. It's just beautiful.
There
So
was
So,
you can pick the long ones out of
yeah,
the
go
grill
get the
and
good
reuse
ones,
them.
right? Yeah.
Bugs
but
Guilford
still-
County.
Oh my God, they're awful.
Before I got there, had a petting zoo or some kind or a fancy
Yeah.
critters ranch and went paws up.
Mhm.
So they turned everything loose. And one of the things they turned loose was a damn peacock.
It's
And
just-
you're looking for a missing kid out in the break south of town at 2 in the morning. That thing screams right here.
Yeah. I hate that scream.
Oh,
And
it's the
that's-
worst.
And the thing is, I knew what it sounded like. I just wasn't expecting to hear it 6 feet away in the Texas Panhandle.
Yeah, no.
And that's why I started carrying spare packs of underwear in my cruiser.
Along with a larger caliber gun.
That pair
No.
of shorts ain't coming home with me.
Yeah, no, you're right. That-
Right?
going through the Canadian breaks, the
Yeah.
North Panhandle, we got called in mutual aid for a missing kid. And I did not realize, being a child of Africa and all that, the mountain lion screaming sounds like a woman in distress.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they
Oh,
do,
yeah.
as a matter of fact. It's, yeah.
And
I can
that's
vouch for that.
And that's why I turned in the 9mm for 45 Super, because damn,
Yes.
I heard a woman scream, what's hauling ass over the next ridge. One woman.
Surprise!
Yeah. I don't know who was more surprised, me or him.
Yeah. Ah,
Brian goes, the dreaded
Peacockosaurus.
Piccosaurus.
Yeah, no, I hate. Awful.
John used to raise mountain lions,
Yeah,
so
he
he's
did.
rather familiar with that.
He's
sound.
familiar.
Well,
Yeah, we had one that just wandered through our neighborhood up there.
Yeah, he was wandering. I guarantee he was minding his own business.
Yeah,
he
he
was
was-
stupid because he didn't hear me.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking for a kid.
Probably a young one, you know.
I'm damned if I know.
Wonder if he found an hors d'oeuvre, you know. It's like-
Damned if I
Well,
know.
he may have heard you
But
rumbling through the bush and thought, well, no, this is my hunting area. I'm going to let him know.
and I
Screamed
heard,
like a
I heard his
woman.
woman scream, and
Mhm.
I'm a
He
27-year-old.
did. Hey, who are you? And you went, oh, Jesus, the biped. God damn.
he's thinking, I thought that was a 4-legged one. I thought I was going to scare him off.
That
Well,
worked.
he comes a running.
I heard a woman
Wrong
screaming,
mating call.
screaming in fear and or
Yeah.
pain, and
Mhm.
27-year-old male. I've got a badge, by God. Dun, 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 shit. And the old mountain lion went shit, and we agreed to separate.
Yeah.
Anything.
Well,
Anything.
at least you didn't do like my buddy did up in Alaska, or actually up on the ice pack, and do that with a polar bear.
Nope, I'm good.
No,
I'm
Because-
from the land of where I'm not at the top of the
Yeah.
food chain. I don't want to go back.
Well, he was bored. He decided he wanted to climb up this ice ridge just to see if he
oh,
could.
that's right. You told me that.
Yeah.
Name. Yes. Hello.
Yeah. And the next thing I know, he goes, as he comes tumbling back down. I go, what the?
Hey, Smith. Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since
Bro.
I had the rifle, I went very carefully up there and got to the top and was like, oh, geez, something stinks.
The reason for that.
Poked my head up just enough where I could see and there was a depression, there was yellow in the depression, and there was a polar bear going across the ice ridge the other way.
You're damn lucky. that
Okay,
polar bear
we're
got
going
scared.
back now. We're
Yeah, damn lucky polar bear got scared.
Listen, if your primary meal is a seal, you stink too.
Oh yeah. Mm.
levered mating calls are much less annoying. You know, on that note, folks, we've wasted another hour of your time today.
I got to go pick up my brother and go do things.
Yeah, well, thank you for adjusting to us at the new time. This is temporary for the day only.
Yeah.
We'll be back to the regular schedule on Thursday, which is noon also.
And then I'll say,
All right, guys.
And-
Y'all be safe.
Everybody be safe. Have a good week or as good as you can. Remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff. See ya.
take you to the
Bye.
Prairie Dog Park now.
Miss Jonna, I am